I thought, this guy is awesome. Why can't we all do business as effectively as this guy? Why can't we get really, really good at doing those two things that he did?
Welcome, everybody, to the Chris Harder Show, where we are making you unapologetic about your pursuit of success, knowing that when good people like you make good money, they can then do great things. My name is Chris Harder, and several times per week, I will bring you epic guests, solo episodes, and every single tool, trick, and skill set you need to grow your business, grow your money mindset, and to grow your wealth to levels that you have never reached before. I've ended up in a unique place in life where I've got the experience, the connections, and all of the secrets that it takes to be successful. And I'm lifting the curtain to reveal it all to you in an effort to help put you in a position of abundance so great that you can then be as generous as possible. So let's lock arms and let's get started.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Chris Harder Show, where today I'm grateful to be hanging out with my brother and my mom and Lori for a long weekend of just having some family fun. Mom has been out here for a few weeks visiting us in California and watched the dogs while we were away for 8 days. And so she's gotten a break from the heat in Arizona, getting to be out here for a while. We've gotten to make some really awesome memories. And Nick flew out for the weekend so we can just kind of have a fun family weekend. And it's those things that matter the most. It's those things that are priceless. It's those things why we work so hard so that we can have the time and the availability and the beauty and everything else to really make memories with the family. Like I always say, the best thing that money can buy you is choice. The choice to do what you want with whom you want when you want to do it. And that's what we work so hard for. So if you're like, what the hell is this guy talking about? Like, I signed up for an episode where I'm going to learn something about my business. I start every single episode, at least my solo ones, with what I'm grateful for. Because I'm a huge believer in, if you don't stop to take inventory of it, then you don't even realize you have it in your favor. You don't even realize that you've got so much going in your favor. As humans, we just concentrate on what we don't have yet. It's like a natural thing that comes to us, unfortunately. So we have to battle that by consciously stopping with gratitude practices and saying, hey, what do I have going in my favor? What can I take inventory of that I do have? And that's just my way of always leading by example when I start these episodes for you. And speaking of episodes, what I want to talk about today is the art of getting what you want. And it came from a very specific experience that I had. So last week or a couple weeks ago, Lori and I were out in Kelowna, British Columbia. We're out there visiting Dan Martell and Renee, his wife, and they just put on one of the most spectacular weekends for us. It was so awesome. And we took a cab to get back to the airport on the last day when we were leaving. And the cab driver was so sweet. He was one of those guys who's just so proud of where he's from. And actually, ironically, he's from India, but had lived in Kelowna for almost 30 years. And he was so proud of Kelowna and how beautiful it is and all that stuff. And after chatting us up for a little bit, he said, hey, could I ask you a favor? And I said, sure, what's the favor? And he said, it would mean the world to me if you'd leave me a 5-star review on Google. And so obviously my response was like, yeah, absolutely. I'll be happy to do that. Now, let's be real. In this moment when I said, yes, I'll be happy to do that, it's not like I was going to get out of the cab, go check our bags, and then when I was standing in line, remember to go look this guy up and give him a 5-star review on Google. Now, my intention was that I would do it, but if I'm really being truthful, in full execution, I probably would have forgotten, right? 10, 15, 20 minutes go by, you go through airport security, all that stuff. I would have forgotten to give this guy a review. This is where the episode starts to apply to you and your business. The first thing he did was he asked for what he wanted. He said, hey, it would mean the world to me if you left me a 5-star review. Would you do it? And I said, yes. Then he said, would both of you do it? 2 reviews is better than 1. And I thought, this guy's awesome. He really asked for what he wants. And Lori said, sure, yeah, I'd be happy to. But he didn't stop there. He said, great. We've got about 10 minutes left in the ride. Here's a QR code to make it easy. And he handed us back a little card with a QR code on it. And then he said, look at the bottom there. It has my name and it has the name of the cab company. He said, would you please include my name in the review? Now, what he was doing was he was making it easy. He said, take a picture of the QR code. Here's my name. And just say something nice that would mean the world to me. It's how we stay on top of the other cab companies. So I don't know if you know, but in Kelowna, cab companies are a big thing, way more than Uber. And so we're obviously at that point, I don't want to say pigeonholed into doing it because that has a negative connotation, but we had no choice but to do it. He asked for what he wanted. I said, yes. Then he said, Miss, AKA Lori, would you do it too? She said, yes. Then he handed us the card and said, here, I made it easy. And we've got about 10 minutes left in the ride if you want to do it right now. So that was his way of saying, do it right now. Don't wait until you get out of the cab, because he knows damn well if we would have waited till we got out of the cab, go through security and all that, we would have forgotten despite our good intentions. And after leaving the review, and after Lori leaving the review and handing him his little QR code back, I thought, this guy is awesome. Why can't we all do business as effectively as this guy? Why can't we get really, really good at doing those two things that he did? Being clear on our ask and making it easy to fulfill. Think about what would happen to your business if you went through and audited your sales process and said, how clear can I ask for what I want, right? I want you to take this action. I want you to buy this thing. How clear can I make my ask? That's the first thing. And how easy can I make it for you? Now, here's an example. A lot of you do a pretty good job at asking for what you want. You do a good job with your marketing. You do a good job with your Instagram or your socials. You do a good job with maybe your email copy, or you're just one of those people that does a really good job of unapologetically selling. Hey, I've got this course coming up. Hey, I got this program coming up. Hey, I got this new product that I created. Except you don't make it easy. Your sales page is terrible, or your purchasing process is terrible. Like in this day and age, if I have to get out my credit card and I have to type everything in myself, I'm probably not going to complete the checkout process. That's just the world that we live in now. So have you sign up for the software that autofills the last credit card you used? If you have a physical product, have you signed up with Shop Pay? Have you signed up with everything to make the process as easy for someone to do a one-click checkout? The same way that this guy made it easy for basically to do a one-click review and make sure that he got 5 stars. So some of you are doing a really good job at asking for the sale, but a terrible job of making it easy. And if that's you, then it's time to audit your sales page. It's time to audit your closing process. It's time to make sure that you've taken all the friction out between the moment that someone says, okay, I'll do business with you, and the time that you do business with it. Matter of fact, here's one of the examples, absolute pet peeve. When you don't take credit cards. So when someone's like, yeah, I'll buy your course, or yeah, I'll buy your mastermind, or yeah, I'll buy your thing. And you're like, oh, great. Bank draft or this only. I don't take credit cards because they charge me 3%. That's being so not just narrow-minded. You should be baking that into your operational costs. But on top of that, you're not making it easy, right? Most people aren't used to doing bank drafts. Most people aren't used to sending wires. Most people aren't used to looking up their banking information. They just want to be able to snap a picture of the credit card and have it go through. And so that's what I mean by some of you do a good job of asking for the sale, but a terrible job of making it easy. Others of you, you might make it easy. You might have an easy checkout process, but you're doing a terrible job asking for the sale. Do you ask for the sale unapologetically, or do you beat around the bush? Do you bring people to a yes or no moment, or do you just kind of suggest that they should take action? Because that little slight difference is all the difference in the world between somebody being compelled to do it right there on the spot, or saying, yeah, I think I want to do this, and getting around to it later, quote unquote, never getting around to it at all. Let's go back to the example in the cab. I really wanted to leave this guy a 5-star review. What a nice, cool guy. He was awesome. Loved his energy. I loved how proud he was of his cab and his business and all that. But what did he do? He said, great. After I agreed, we have 10 minutes left in the ride. Here's a QR code, and here's my name. Would you please include both of it in there? He gave me a deadline, and he gave me the tools to check out easily. He gave me that yes or no moment. I mean, in that moment, I would have had to say, no, I don't want to give you a 5-star review when he asked me. That was my first yes or no moment. And my second yes or no moment was, he said, great, there's 10 minutes left. Let's do it now. I would have had to say, no, I'll do it after I go through security and all this stuff at the airport, which, I wouldn't have done. And so you have to be able to unapologetically and clearly Ask for the action you want your customer to take. And then you have to make it as easy as possible for them to do that. You do those two things, your business will absolutely double. I know that's a bold claim. I'm going to say maybe more than double. You start asking for what you want directly and clearly, and you make it really easy for someone to take the action of checking out, and you'll get twice the sales that you are right now. And when you do, you know what happens. When good people like you make good money, you can then do great things. Hey, thanks for listening. Really love and appreciate it. And, I love working with you guys in your business dreams, and strategy is my jam. Like, strategy is my absolute jam. I have got one-on-one client spot coming open. I always do just a few clients at a time. I took a 4-year hiatus from doing any one-on-one, started it up again this year, and I freaking love it. But I do it real uniquely. You come to me. I pay for your plane ticket, but you come to me for the kickoff of it. You come to me every 60 to 75 days for a full half-day in-person meeting. You go back in between each meeting, and you do the work that you need to do. You text me when you need help. We'll jump on the phone if you got to jump on the phone. But there's none of this, let's set up a weekly Zoom BS. There's none of the babysitting. This is for the doers of the world that need in-person strategy roughly every 60 days. And so we're meeting every couple months in person for an afternoon, knocking it out. You get back on the airplane, you go back, and you knock it out in your business. It is the greatest program ever, and my clients are crushing it. So if you're interested, just go fill out an application. We'll have a conversation, see if it's a good fit for you. Go to chrisharder.me/coaching, answer a couple questions. We'll jump on the phone. Again, that is chrisharder.me/coaching. None of this remote stuff, none of this Vox or BS back and forth. This is straight up rolling up our sleeves in person every couple of months. Accountability, strategy, connections, my Rolodex. It's good. So go to chrisharder.me/coaching. Fill out the app, and I can't wait to see who the next person I work with is. Thanks for listening. And if you loved this episode and know of someone else who is as successful as they are generous, please pass them on to me. It would mean the world to me if you help me get this cause and this message out to as many listeners as I can. So please, if you liked what you heard, it goes a long way if you take 30 seconds and leave me a 5-star review and share this with your friends. I'll be forever grateful. And until the next episode, cheers to your success.